Good morning, bird lovers. This is Tatsiana Thompson, and this is episode 12 of Brome Bird News. You know, last week I complained about lack of snow and I asked you to send us pictures with something white in it, and here we go. We've got tons of snow. And you know, if you haven't started feeding birds yet, I recommend that you do start now in the winter. That's what I did a few years back, and it didn't take that long to get a lot of visitors. You know, at that time I had all my feeders tucked away nicely in the cedar hedge, thinking, oh, I will protect birds from all the elements, you know, winter storms that we get or heavy rains. Well, it worked for a bit, but then squirrels showed up in the spring, and for them, they have a branch, they can suspend themselves and they will clear all your seed. So I changed that. I moved all my feeders out to the cedar hedge. I have one set up in front of my house. It's a platform feeder and it's far enough from the cedar hedge that squirrels can't really jump on it. And I have a pole that they can't really climb. And then I also set up this awesome Brome's seed buster that serves not only as a baffle for squirrels, but it also catches all the mess or all unwanted seeds from my platform feeder. And actually this week, this seed buster tray is going to Charlene Gilliam from Akron, Ohio. She sent us this awesome picture of a titmouse. Thank you, Charlene. Let me show you how this thing works. I absolutely love it. So, see, it catches everything from here. It doesn't matter whether you have a platform feeder or a regular squirrel buster, any tube feeders, doesn't matter. So you open it like that, take it apart, shake it off if you have some dirty stuff there, and put it back and close. You know, cardinals love this place because they feel a bit crowded in other feeders, but here they feel comfortable. Well, Charlene, congratulations, and send us more pictures to photos@bromebirdcare.com. This week's question for Dr. David Bird is, will other bird species visit my hummingbird feeder?
You might be surprised to learn that more than 60 species of other birds will visit hummingbird feeders rather than the little guys themselves. Being citrus fruit lovers, it's not surprising that orioles are among the most frequent, and you can even buy orange-colored feeders just for that group of birds alone. Chickadees, titmice, warblers, and several kinds of woodpeckers all have a sweet tooth and will visit hummer feeders. They actually have a tongue that's especially developed to allow them access to the sugar solution. Some birds, like house finches, will actually become pests and keep the hummingbirds from visiting the feeders. The best way to resolve that problem is to put aside some little dishes of sugar solution for those birds alone away from the feeder, allowing the hummingbirds access to their own feeder.
If you have any questions for Dr. David Bird, please write to him at askdrdavidbird@bromebirdcare.com. You know, Grand Junction, Colorado is home to some of the most passionate Western Screech Owl lovers in the world. This area has recorded the highest number of Western Screech Owls in the U.S. as part of the 2014 Christmas bird count. This is because since the 80s, the local bird lovers have put a lot of effort into monitoring and taking care of those owls, making sure that they had cozy places to live and nest. The 2015 results are still being tallied up, but they have already logged 86 Western Screech Owls. If you're a birder and you live in Indiana, then you should definitely participate in this. The Indiana Department of Natural Resources is encouraging birders to find and log 200 bird species in 2016 as part of the Indiana Bicentennial Big Year. The Big Year started on New Year's Day and will continue all through mid-December. Prizes will be given to people who find 100 bird species and more. But there is a tricky part to that. You have to identify and find birds, or at least 100 of them, on the grounds of an Indiana state park or a national park site. To log and download your checklist, you have to use ebird.com. When I was growing up, Eurasian magpies were everywhere, but we'd never seen a bird like this one. This is a Javan Green Magpie, and because of its incredible plumage and beautiful voice, it is so sought after that there are only about 100 of them left in their native Indonesia. And actually, magpies and exotic birds in that part of the world are just caught and placed in cages to serve as a decor somewhere in the room, restaurant, like, we would do with a bouquet of flowers. So for the past 5 years, Chester Zoo in the UK has actually been helping a breeding center in Indonesia restore the population of this particular magpie. And the rarer the bird there, the more street value it has. So this breeding center, has had several break-ins, and those rare magpies were stolen. So the UK Zoo, the Chester Zoo, made a decision, and they now transferred 6 breeding pairs of the Javan Green Magpie to the UK, where they would have a safer environment to live and to reproduce. This week, I'd like to tell you about the Snow Goose Festival of the Pacific Flyway that will take place in Chico, California between January 27th and 31st. So if you happen to be in California that time, you should definitely check out this festival. Look at the pictures that Jennifer Patton, the coordinator of the festival, sent to us. Looks like a lot of fun. Last year, 155 bird species were spotted there. You can go on a guided tour of a nature reserve. You can participate in photography workshops. Their keynote speaker this year is a renowned nature photographer, George D. Leb. You can check out local vineyards. It's Californian wine after all. And all the activities for younger generations are free. Registration is already open. Well, that's it for this week. Write to me at Tatsiana@bromebirdcare.com. I hope you had a great New Year's celebration, and I'll see you next week.